week of January. All right, are you guys ready for your next comic? Your next comic performs all over. Keep it going for Eleonora Kostinsky.
Hi guys. So I actually used to go by Natasha from Russia. Because when I moved here, Americans knew nothing about Russians other than the cartoons, right? And so I used to tell some interesting fun facts. Did you guys know that in Soviet Union, toilet paper was a luxury, yeah? We used newspapers. The number one newspaper was called The Truth. And so the truth would penetrate our minds from the bottom up and make us, strong and rough. Yeah, so when you Americans complain that charming isn't soft enough, how about you try some truth? As let me tell you, the truth hurts. But now you know what to blame. Charming, ultra soft. Yeah. Speaking of softness, the other day, I saw this guy, and he was like, you're a BBW. Do you guys know what BBW stands for? Apparently it's Big Beautiful Woman, but I didn't know either. You don't need to record me. I think I'm getting a recording. And so I was like offended because I thought he meant BMW. I'm like, dude, I'm a Tesla, soft, feminine, and always with fresh pack of batteries. Yeah, growing up in Russia, Ukraine, technically, was a torture because I was surrounded by tall, thin, perfect-nosed women like you. And so when people ask me, dream big, I'd be like, thank you, I'm big enough. I dream tall, I dream thin, and I dream perfect nose. But my deepest dream was to become a singer. And so I told that to my grandma, and she was like, you crazy? First you wanted to be a shiksa, and now a poor shiksa? You are an immigrant, not Barbara Streisand, although her nose was even bigger than yours. You have to become a professional. With that, I became a professional project planner. I planned my daughter's life even before I met my husband. That's what Russian parents do, right? They always know what's best for your children, like Putin knows what's best for Ukraine. It's a culture thing, right? And so I told my daughter she had to go to Harvard and marry a nice Jewish boy. But I would let her pick, a doctor or a lawyer, as I believe in women's right to choose. But Harvard doesn't want the Jews, they want diversity. Hashtag me too. I've been married for too long, same Russian Jewish guy, works on Wall Street, punches numbers. I want a real man who can punch a deer. Not numbers, Native American. So I had this brilliant idea for my future indigenous husband to adopt my daughter. She will adopt his race, and I become a Harvard mama. So I started Global Husband Hunt and almost nailed down one man from Oklahoma. So my daughter says, nah, sticking to my roots. Will change nothing but my gender. And then she tells me she's into girls and call her they. I was so upset that I was like, they could benefit my pocket. Is how many are we talking about? 5, 10? If I get to write them off in my tax return, I'm gonna get a new Louis Vuitton bag. After all, I'm a Jew. I take that over existential crisis. And my tutor constantly tells me to relax. I'm like, dude, with Soviet schools, we didn't learn techniques of relaxation. technique of interrogation. She tells me, okay, you gotta start yoga. So I did. Started yoga. Breathe in and out. But try that if you have asthma. And then we chanted, Om. And I felt vibration in every part of my body where no vibrator could ever reach. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. And so I went to the spiritual place where the earth vibrates the strongest, Sedona. Climbed up the mountain, sat in a lotus pose, and waited for my chakras to open. Woman looked at me, and she's like, you gotta have a crystal. I'm like, where would I get a crystal? Follow me. We went to her house. It had more crystals than Walter White could cook. I heard the voice, pick me. It was a shiny sphere of rose quartz. And $1,500 later, I was ready to vibrate forever. But in the morning, the sphere lost its voice. And I lost mine trying to get a refund. It was a crystal crime. But you know, I'm Russian, so protect myself. I have this gemstone called Chase Sapphire. It always keeps me safe. No, don't fuck with Russians. Yeah, another story for you. The other day, I ran into my cousin. She's this big Ukrainian woman. And suddenly, she looked like half of that woman. I'm like, Marina, where is your other half? Is it fighting Russians? Is it cancer or Ozempic? She goes, shh, I don't want my son to know. I'm like, why? Because I can have a cake finally, all to myself. I'm like, I want the cake. And so I get on Ozempic. My weight had dropped, but so did my face. You know, my friends, they tell me you look good, but Russians trust no one. I trust Miro, and my Miro told me, get fillers. Got some fillers. Look great, but woke up in the middle of the night with a hard on. It wasn't what you think. No. It was my chin. It was engorged. I looked like a woodpecker ready to pack. Except I wanted to puke. But I was scared. If I puke Ozempic, I'll be fat. Puke Restylane, I'll be old. So I ran to CTMD. Like, give me anti-Viagra. Apparently it wasn't invented. And so I had to wait a little, but, you know, all went well. And that's all for you guys. Thank you.
Eleanor Kostinsky, everyone.